Alright, I'm going to talk about Real Racing 3 tips and tricks. First thing I'd like to say is that don't spend money, don't spend your gold on upgrades unless you really need them. Your gold is like your biggest asset in this game, and so you want to hold back on spending that as much as possible. As you can see here, I've got about 509 gold saved up, 600,000 money, and over here you can see 300 hours, and it's been about 45,000. And if you look over here, oh, that's not it. I have got a garage worth 73 million. That's pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, don't waste any gold on upgrades. Don't ever spend it basically repairing your car quickly. Yeah, unnecessary upgrades and repairs. And to collect golds from your achievements, if you just look down here, there is a button. Now, if you need to collect them, whatever, you can just click. There will be a collect button over on this right bit here. Click it. Yeah, one of the most simplest things to do to get gold. Gold is worth a lot in this game. Each day you'll get a 100% bonus, and it will only happen once a day. And what you're going to have to do when you get a 100% bonus is you're going to go to a really good race. Now I'll tell you a really good race once you get up in there. This is a really good race. See this one here, Classic Ferrari Showdown? We go there, and this last race here, if we do this race here and we go and get this crew member here, oh, he's free to help out. If we hire him, then we'll manage to, I'll hire him, why not? And another good one is if the agent's free as well. But you can spend 1 gold on the manager, and if you've got a 100% bonus, and say I've got both these cars, but personally don't waste your money on the F50. It's actually pretty shit. It's slower than the F40. So if you do that, then you can go in here with a 100% bonus and that there, and you'll get about 360,000 from doing a 13-minute race, which is pretty good value for money. Alright, so we'll go on to our next point, and our next point will be if you go in here and you stuff up. Anyway, so you go in here and you stuff up. Say for instance the game starts and you crash, or you don't play and you get left behind. Now you could suffer damage to your car or whatever. Now the simplest way to deal with this, if you suffer damage and you don't want to lose your 100% bonus and you don't want to lose your crew members, you can see over here you can just exit the game. So exit the game. Now that doesn't always exit it, because sometimes it stays loaded. So I have this thing called Smart Booster. Oh, that's not what I was wanting to click. Go away. Yeah, I use Smart Booster. Now what I'll do is I'll click Smart Booster, then I'll go boost now, and that kills the game. So it's freed up the memory, and now we can go back into the game and we'll still have a 100% bonus. We'll also still have our crew members, and our car won't be damaged from that race. Now that's pretty important, really. So that race, that will give you about 360,000 in 13 minutes every day, which is pretty good. If you got honor bonuses, only use them for a long track. Don't use them for a short track, because you don't get much honor for it. So yeah, get the F40, do this. Once you finally get up to it, you can do that track. Now, unlocking cars. Now, this is an interesting one. It's kind of like, well, say for instance we're going through and we're on Legend, and notice I've done none of the ones on the bottom except for a couple. You don't need to do them. Now personally I don't do them. Now if you don't do them, then you can come along later on and you can say this 458 Spider, right, I won't get 20% off just by completing this and being able to access the 458 Spider. But if I can access the 458 Spider somewhere earlier, through maybe one of these things, then it will give me 20% off. So that's why I don't do any of the bottom ones, because when I go to a new event and I want to get 20% off that car, I'm gonna do one of these bottom ones, go through and get 20% off the car, and then I'm gonna be sweet. But you won't get 20% off the car for the first car of these main series. But you'll get 20% off every car after it, but you won't get 20% off every car like that. And this is pro tip of the day. This is pro tip of the day. See here in Pro Amateur. See this event here? This car here is the biggest waste of money ever. Yeah, don't waste your money upgrading this sack of shit that's only used for one event. Look at these upgrades. 36 gold. And that's not even near up to 9. Imagine getting to 9. This cigar is going to cost you so much. And you're going to make like maybe 25 gold or something off it. It's ridiculous. Don't ever waste money on this silly car. Although it's quite fun to drive though, but nevertheless. Now, as it comes to controls, we'll load into a game. Whatever. Now you want to have your assists. Your assist, man. Seriously, you want to learn to play with all of them off. I still haven't learned to do it, but essentially, if we go up to here and we go to these options down in the bottom left, these assists here. Alright, I play with steering assist still on, although I can play somewhat with it off. Now, playing with all of these off will get you a better game. You will learn to play better, but if you just want to play faster, start taking the brake assist down. On high, it's pathetic. You will set slow times. On low, you'll only need to brake a couple of times during the lap. You'll set a lot faster times. And off, well, you'll set the fastest times you possibly can once you learn to play with that off. So brake assist off is awesome. And the other thing about the controls here, you want to play with tilt B. Tilt A, that's lazy. Start playing with tilt B, manual accelerate, manual brake, and tilt steering, and then, you know, calibrate your device, whatever. All that great stuff. So yeah, you want to start playing with tilt B instead of that. Now, when it comes to racing, always brake for the early corner slightly early and accelerate out of the corner. Don't try and just crash through everything. Crashing and going off track will cost you so much time in this game that it's just not even worth it. Like, you got to learn to corner properly, so brake before corners and accelerate through and out and all that sort of stuff. And that's why tilt B is real good, because it gives you manual control of your acceleration, and you'll learn to play a lot better with that. The other thing is, in timed events, okay, so we've got timed events. I'll show you one. Alright, so we've got the timed event here. This is our timed event that's on at the moment. Now you see these timed events. Now, an important thing to remember when playing the timed events is they give you quite a bit of time before you can start it. So you can go along and go to rr3wikia.com. Now, this website here, I don't know if you can see it, but basically, if I wanted to go through, I can go to the cars list, and I can find a car, and then I can see what people say about it. And then there'll be a discussion, F40 versus F50, and you'll listen to what people say, and you'll better make a sensible decision, and you'll better get the F40. Don't get the F50 like I did. And in here we can go and see the races as well. This is still on the RR3 Wikia. And look, it's got most profitable races. See the one that I do? That's the second most profitable race. And it also says how much money you make per minute and how much fame, all those great stats that you need to know for them. But in the meantime, anyway, back down here. So if you wait like 4 or 5 days, maybe even a bit longer after an event started, till people have completed it, you'll be able to see what they say about how many upgrades they've got. And that's actually quite important, because you don't want to waste heaps of gold. So you don't want to, you know, get upgrades that are unneeded. And so that's probably my best advice on that one. If you just wait and then do it when, you know, you see how much upgrades a person needs to actually do it. The other thing with this is when you're doing upgrades and it says it's going to be 2 hours to finish, and you're wanting to do your next upgrade, don't complete all of the races for that day, because you will no longer have access to the car to continue your upgrades. So that will make your upgrades way slower. So I'd advise not doing the last race of the day you're on. See, for instance, for me, I've got 1 race left to do, but I have upgrades I'm wanting to do to my car. So I'm not going to do that last race until way later in the day, after I've done the next upgrades and started them. That's a good way of doing it. And yeah, when you're in these and you're getting up to the last day or whatever, and you're on the last day, don't be afraid if you've got a race that well, it's going to take 10 laps or 6 laps or 5 laps or something like that. Don't be afraid to spend 1 gold on the mechanic before you do it. Now you can always, if you start stuffing it up, you can always go and do what I said and exit the game with the thing I showed you on the right. And you know, exit and go into Smart Booster, crash the game and restart it, and then you'll still have your 1 gold and your mechanic. But yeah, like if you've got a race that's going to take 6 laps, your car's going to be stuffed. At the end of the 6 laps or 10 laps or whatever, your car will be stuffed. Then you're going to have to wait another 3, maybe 5 hours for the car to repair. So therefore, spending 1 gold on a mechanic could be quite worth it. It might actually mean you finish the competition. Alright, and another tip and trick, see this free up here? Well, you get about 3 of those a day, and that will give you free gold, and it only takes 15 to 45 seconds per one, so it's a good idea to get those each day. You get about 3 gold from that, and will soon accumulate and you'll get more and more gold from it, and definitely worth doing. The other thing to remember, if you want an easier game, see where I got Wi-Fi? Now if Wi-Fi is on, then, well, if Wi-Fi and data are on, then you're going to get real people to race against. And real, well, then it's not real people, it's, you know, real people's replays. And well, they're going to be a lot harder than if you have Wi-Fi and data turned off. If you have Wi-Fi and data turned off, then the opponents they give you in every single race, I'm including all of the you know, single player shit through here. It's all so much easier if you turn off Wi-Fi and your cellular data. It won't give you real people as your opponents. And the times you'll have to set are way less. If you have Wi-Fi on, of course, you know, you can face real people, and if you have friends on your friends list, then having Wi-Fi on, you'll get a little bit more money from beating their times. But Wi-Fi off means way easier opponents. And yeah, of course, turn your cellular data off and you'll get way easier opponents too. Then you just have to, if you're in an event like this one over here, then you'll have to turn it back on each day to be able to access this event, because it won't unlock until you connect to the internet again. But that's the only trick with it. Pretty easy, really. That's, yeah, all my tips now. I'd like it if anybody else has any more tips and tricks on, you know, things that you can do with this game. Not really into hacking, so don't bother dropping those tips. Who cares about them? Oh well, that's GG.